let's look at Barrow-dyad.
Barrow-dyad, I was hoping you'd say that.
So Barrow-dyad is
What the heck is this?
It's a hybrid gun for
Our team does not mess around, man. That's so cool. Yeah.
So this thing is a strand submachine gun, and it is also a monster in combat. So this thing, as I deal damage with it, it generates this resource called Blight. And next time I reload, whether it's manual or I just run out of my mag, it's going to convert that Blight into these strand seekers that next time I pull the trigger, it's going to fire those out and they're going to bounce between enemies.
Here we go. Yep. So we got some gameplay of this right now, actually.
Yes. So, but you can also see
it just shooting everything. The Grim is a paid actor, obviously.
Tonight is snow.
You can also see that this thing auto reloads over time. So this thing, rumor is it's partially sentient.
Yeah.
It has its own wants and needs.
It wants to kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you satisfy it, it's going to reward you.
Yeah.
So look how fast that ammo comes back. So what you can actually do is play this mini game where you are trying to shoot enemies to build up that Blight. And then you can pace
this
yourself
is crazy.
to auto reload to build up more Blight.
That's pretty
and
sick.
Then manually reload to load all those seekers into your mag. In addition, it has this perk where dealing damage to 3 different enemies generates in a short period of time. Generates a large amount of Blight.
Very nice. Okay, so equal opportunities to go ahead and clear out crowds, but also to just burn down the big bad that might be standing in front of you, or whichever one's foolish enough to do so.
So there are going to be player questions immediately of when you're talking about Blight and those sorts of keywords, is this a weapon of sorrow?
That's a great question. It is not a weapon of sorrow, but I heard another rumor that this thing is a kind of fossilized precursor to a weapon of sorrow.
Interesting.
But I can't, confirm.
Redacted.
This, one of our top 3 favorite words, redacted. Okay, so this is the one, and we won't spoil how, but players will be earning this one this season. It'll have, catalysts and other intrinsics to earn as well, I assume.
This thing has a lot of surprises. I don't know where.
We can leave it there.
Let's just leave it.
I like that. Okay. All right. So obviously, the Barrow-dyad will be one that will be getting added to a lot of loadouts across the entire Sol system. But that's not the only one we're going to be taking a look at today.
Yeah. Let's also look at our new exotic trace rifle, Lodestar.
Here we
go.
go.
This one will be given to players via the season pass. This is the first primary ammo trace rifle ever.
So cool.
And
I'm so excited.
So in hipfire, this thing behaves like the trace rifle would love.
Starlight
but
beam.
when you ADS with it, it's closer to a pulse rifle, actually.
Okay.
When you ADS, your standard pulse rifle has this kind of cadence where it's brah, brah, brah. There's these kind of spaces in between the rounds coming out. But this thing is more the steady, EDM beat.
Here we go. Yeah, so players are seeing it now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're womp, 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 womp.
Yeah,
womp.
that's right. Yeah.
And it's nonstop until you run out of ammo, right?
So we got burst sidearms, burst hand cannons, your pulse rifles, and now we got a burst trace rifle. I love this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, so outside of this unique firing behavior, as I deal damage with it, you can see down in the bottom left corner we have arc alignment. And what that's doing is charging the coils of the weapon. Once it's fully charged, if I press and hold to auto reload, or sorry, special reload.
Oh, right.
As I hip fire, I jolt anything I hit. So the jolt is a debuff, right? So you can kind of charge this thing up, auto reload to go into the other fire mode, and then kind of sweep the beam across a bunch of enemies, jolt them all, and then
paintbrush of death this thing.
And then the final perk this thing has is when ADS'd, any time you defeat a arc debuffed enemy, they explode into a blinding explosion. So it's this loop where I can charge it up, I jolt enemies. I defeat the jolted enemies with the ADS shot, which explodes and damages more enemies, which charges it up. And
the loop continues. Honestly,
This thing has, I think, a really high skill ceiling.
And this is just this one weapons loop. There's obviously all the different artifact mods. There's all the new aspects. There's the new gear we're gonna have available to us through the Dreadnought. Theory crafters, update your spreadsheets. The time has begun.
There's some big brain combos you can pull off.
Yeah, and I will be counting on stealing all of them. them. All right, so we also, really quickly before we move on, we have some new armor as well with Trials. Dylan, can you briefly tell us a little bit as well about the new updates to Trials and the new armor?
For sure, yeah. So, I mean, we'll still have Heresy gameplay on here, but as I was saying,